Coming up in this video, there were two different folks in the room with us. At that point, I had a frightening thought, so I rushed to DM Sally to call my telephone at this moment. She said okay, and afterward. This video is all about Airbnb Horror Story and true Airbnb Horror Story. I once went to Miami Oceanside without anyone else for the craftsmanship Basel, and to simply escape the cold. My companion Sally would be there with her sweetheart, and I'd get together with them, yet I wasn't remaining with them. Inns and Airbnb in Miami aren't modest, particularly on the off chance that you're flying performance. So I went with this inn called a swimsuit lodging. It resembles the core of Miami Oceanside. What's more, it was jam-packed. Even the registration entryway had certain individuals in. Certain individuals appear to be there during gatherings. Others solo like me. I didn't spend as much time in the inn. However, it was just implied a spot to rest for me. The spot had storage spaces that you could put your sacks in, so I had the option to be gone the whole day with the true serenity. It was only after that first night that I returned and met a portion of individuals in the room with me. I was in a blended dormitory, meaning both male and females. However, I was the main female in the room. I wasn't awkward with that I wasn't there for the individuals. All the more so the cash saved. I met around 3 of them anyway. Numerous individuals were remaining in the room. The following morning I awakened, and first the thing I did was a search for my telephone, which I thought I left it on the bed. I looked all over the bed and afterward under it. Somebody in the room needed to have taken it. I began inquiring as to whether anyone had it. I asked the person in the bed straight away to call my number and check whether we could hear it ring. However, nobody could. I began to address if perhaps I didn't take it back to the room. All things considered, I acquired a similar person's telephone to call my companion Sally to tell her I lost my telephone and to meet me at the informal breakfast place we needed to hit. I looked at the whole room one final time, then checked with the front work area, requested that they call me his number if anybody ought to hand my telephone over. Then, at that point, I left to meet Sally at this put on Collins Road to get informal breakfast with her. Furthermore, while there I utilized Sally's telephone to sign into iCloud to check to find my iPhone. It said the latest area was at the lodging 2 hours prior. That gave me some type of alleviation, because perhaps I left it's in my sack or the storage or something like that. We returned to the lodging together, and wherever searched in the room, including the storage in my pack, it didn't turn up, and this made no sense. However, I won't allow it to demolish my trip. We strolled to the conference hall, which was where the workmanship Basel was being held. In the wake of leaving hours after the fact, we snatched a delayed lunch or early supper and hit several bars a short time later. Eventually, I checked to find my iPhone on Sally's telephone once more, and this time it said my telephone had moved. It was essentially right on top of us. Sally in her bow kidded about me being certain I don't have it on me. I told them I don't. I searched for any individual who may have my telephone, yet what might I even look for? I put my telephone into lost mode now that I realized somebody had it. Sally's sweetheart shouted out, "Did anyone find a lost telephone?" However, nobody came forward. Everybody took a gander at us, and certain individuals left. That is without a doubt. We had a go at calling my telephone a lot of times, and it would ring. Nobody gotten. I returned to the lodging when it was dull out to change garments. As I was strolling back, I was beginning to acknowledge that perhaps my telephone wasn't going to be gotten back to me. Yet my whole walk back, I felt like this abnormal-looking person was following me. He took each same turn I took. I don't think he saw that I took note, yet I was extremely dubious he was following me. At the point when I returned to the room, I went on my PC before getting changed to find my iPhone once more, and presently the area was back in the lodging. I was energized because I thought perhaps they were bringing it back. I look at the front work area. Nothing. I requested a bundle from individuals in the inn. Nobody had it, or possibly they weren't confessing to it. So I went to Instagram on my PC and begun DMing Sally to keep her refreshed on. At the point when I'd be prepared to meet them out, I went to clean up, then different into more going out suitable clothing. Whenever I emerged from the restroom and back into the room, I was stunned to see that man that I believed was following me was sitting in one of the beds on his telephone. There were 2 different folks in the room with us. At that point, I had a frightening thought, so I rushed to DM Sally to call my telephone at this moment. She said okay, and afterward, I heard the sound of a telephone vibrating in a pocket or on a bed. I gazed toward the person who dubiously glanced back at me simultaneously as though he knew, and that let me know everything. I began shouting, "Give me my telephone," shouting, "I got you," to him. The other two people in the room helped me. Furthermore, requested the person void his pockets. Also, "Give me my telephone." He tuned in and took out a telephone. Sure, I grabbed it from his hand and told the other two people that he had been following me the entire day and was intentionally trying not to return my telephone, which he most likely taken while I was snoozing. The person got up and rushed out of the structure with his knapsack, never returning. I made companions with the two people who helped me. Their names were Mike and Sam. I had them emerged with me to get together with Sally. I'm thankful they were there, since I can't help thinking about how things would have worked out distinctively if they weren't. Enough is enough for today, guys. Bye.